Okay, and we're recording.
Okay.
Lisa, well done. You are continuing to nail it. The BTC core, we didn't get the big candle, but I think the people that are following you, what they're telling me is they don't care because it did go up, but these other projects that you've been calling out are just kicking ass.
Yeah, well, I still think BTC has got it in there. And it's like, I think, once all these alts start, they're hitting their targets and we're making bazillions of dollars, I think BTC is going to take off. But the most exciting chart that we've had this week, and it's like, whoa, charts. So is ERD, and I'm seeing everyone on Twitter going, I called, 100%, I called 140%. And I'm like, I called 1,400%. And it's like,
you did. I've gone back and checked that because you've called it out pretty much from our first show and on another one back in June 22nd.
Yeah.
But I had a look at your Twitter.
So, so let's have a look at Twitter. I'm going to share my Twitter, and this is my April 24 tweet, which is ERD. And, it was brought to my attention by some of my followers, and they're like, Lisa, check this chart out. Check out what ERD does, and it stakes, and it's got a mainnet coming up on July 30, and it's got so many amazing things happening with this project. And I really think if you are, looking for a long-term hold, do your own research and, have a look at this. So this is, I'll pull this up. So this is the ERD chart that we've got here. And we can see that this red line, which is at 0.009,323, is around the region we started trading this. We got a nice bounce. We came back. It was a really, really high risk trade at this point because this is a really new coin.
I like this about you, Lisa. Obviously, we only do the one trading show a week, but I do follow you on Twitter, and you're posting your trades, you're putting your rep out there. Which is not, some of these other trading shows that I follow, none of them do that. It's just a...
Yeah, so I like to show people sort of how I trade, what I'm trading, and, I only post the charts that I am trading. Right. So if I'm not trading it, there's no chart. People will say, can you send me this chart? And, sometimes I'll look at the charts and I'm like, no, that's not worth trading. So I don't post a chart. But we can see this is ERD over the weekend.
So are we in alt season? Is this, are we back in 217 days? I mean, these sort of gains that's epic.
This is epic. And, we've had really epic gains on so many alts this week, as I'll go through in a moment. But
yes, watch this whole show, people, because Lisa's trades of the week are proving rather successful. It'll be at the end.
Yeah, so, I know a lot of people that have, only put a small amount into this trade and have really reaped the rewards. Yeah. And as we can see, we've hit 1,400, and at the moment we're still, rising. We're probably in an ABC formation on this. Like you can't see it on this chart. This is just a screenshot of the chart on the weekend.
Yeah.
But this is potentially, like, I always like to draw squiggles on my charts where I think, this chart's going to go, and we've pretty much followed, what I sort of thought it would do. It would hold this support and continue going. So, we can see that we've moved right up, quite a few zeros here. We've got less zeros in the price range.
Wow.
Yeah. So
when I first glanced at that, I thought it was a Mesogo, and I was like, what? A Mesogo?
You're like, what happened? So this is a chart. So it was, an epic rise here, and this is a live chart that we've got here now, and we're consolidating in this region. So, we still have 17 days till mainnet on this chart, and it's like, it's a token that you can stake. It's like, it does pretty much everything that Ethereum 2.0 does, but better. So yeah, this is epic. This is like one of those once in a lifetime trades that you get, but in crypto, once in a lifetime is probably once every, yeah. So it's like, you know, that's, you know, people sort of go, oh, why do you exclusively trade crypto, Lisa? Why don't you trade traditionals or, you know, that sort of stuff? And it's like, this is why.
Everyone, it's always been said that the crypto markets are rigged, but I can assure you, and this isn't financial advice, obviously, people, but the traditional market's completely rigged at the moment.
Well, yeah, they're completely rigged. It's like the US is printing money. So, you know, it's completely rigged. So let's get, you know.
There we go, Elrond. So I guess we have to, are we going to have a look at a BTC chart, or are we?
Yeah, let's go to BTC. Oh, wow. It did nothing.
Well, it moved about $300. You did say it would go up. We didn't get the big 2K candle.
No,
we'll let you off because it did go up, and your other calls all did well.
I still think we're in for the big candle. I just think, you know, we've got a strong consolidation pattern here, and you know, while we're getting these sort of, you know, these dips where everyone's like, oh my God, BTC dropped. But, you know, in the whole big scheme of things, it dropped maybe $200, which, you know, is not a huge drop on BTC. I hope everyone's enjoying my Lisa. This is Lisa charts.
They are. I'm getting a flood of comments on your chart, mainly because they're all doing so well. But they are lovely.
So I'm having a little bit of fun with my BTC charts right now. So we're still hugging this red all-time high resistance. So we're sort of going above it, we're going below it, we're sort of, you know, just moving sideways across it. Now, the best way every time to break a resistance is sideways. So eventually, you know, these waves are going to go sideways long enough that they're going to bust through.
Yep.
So once the alts have done their run, the whales are going to be all cashed up and BTC is going to fly. And it's like our dominance chart right now is showing that we've broken down from our resistance. Now, ideally, we want to see this turn around. So we want to see BTC like drawing back in that dominance again from the alts. So the reason this is breaking down is because the alts are doing so exceptionally well. Mm-hmm. You know, we're seeing 100% on just about every coin and token right now. So another, you know, the majors, which I like to call sort of BTC, Ethereum, and BSV, mm-hmm. are doing nothing. Absolutely doing nothing. So, you know, if you want to extend that out to Litecoin and XRP, so they're doing nothing as well. They're kind of going very sideways, very similar to what BTC is doing at the moment.
Yep. And,
you know, once BTC draws that money back in, we're going to see that candle. I hope it's not a candle that takes us down to 8,500, but, you know, that's still a possibility. And, you know, obviously if you're trading BTC, you need to have those stop losses in place.
Yeah.
But I really, truly believe that, you know, if we look at the long-term health of BTC, then, you know, we go to my chart with my parabola on it. So, you know, because we've moved so sideways here, we now have the potential to go straight to 21,000. So, you know, we don't have this resistance here. When we were sort of trending around this region, we had a resistance if we went straight up sort of here. You know, the further we go across on this parabola, where we've got 20,800, so 21,000 with a bit of a wick, which breaks our all-time high. And it will take us, it'll bring us down. We'll probably drop down, say, maybe 12 to 14,000 on that fourth wave.
Yep.
you know, potentially we could hold higher and we could continue. So looking at what's happening in the world at the moment, you know, with the printing of money boistering up the traditional markets, you know, the DJI, the S&P, they're all sort of, you know, feeling that money sort of just keep coming in. Mm-hmm. Eventually there's going to be, we're seeing it in Melbourne at the moment, it's locking down, parts of Europe are starting to lock down again. The US eventually is going to have to do something about all of this and, you know, lock down some of their areas. And, you know, LA's just sort of been let out again and they're just sort of wandering around. But if cases start sort of rising again like they are in Melbourne, they're going to have these lockdowns again. And this is where traditional markets and, you know, even I've seen on Twitter people talking about civil wars and that sort of stuff happening, you know, uprisings and, you know, we've had riots and we've had all of this stuff. So, you know, if this does happen, you know, people are going to start to look at alternative ways of storing, of making money, of, you know, doing that. And I truly believe this is where crypto is going to take over. So, you know, and with the news this week, with all of these coins and tokens making these huge percentages, we should see money from other markets flowing in. And
I mean, there's it does appear like there is certainly, you know, look, liquidity is going into the hands of the wrong people at the moment. Whether that will change as things get worse with the traditional markets. We're not sure. I mean, it is that curveball we're all kind of waiting for. I mean, I've been very public in saying I fully expect crypto to take a dip with the traditional markets when that happens, but I'm not in crypto without that belief that it will decouple.
I don't not believe like that it will have some sort of effect because a lot of the big funds and that sort of thing hedge. You know, they're here and they're hedging in crypto, but if they get a margin call on their normal DJI or their normal S&P chart, they're going to draw some money from somewhere to call that margin. So, you know, that's going to take short term, it's going to take some money out of crypto, and it does happen. But I really truly believe that, you know, crypto is going to really show the world what it's made of. And I've been calling this like for all of this year, saying that this is what is going to happen. The markets are going to bounce. And it's like everyone's saying, no, Bitcoin's dying. It's like the amount of times I've heard that. But you know, look at it.
So on that note, we're obviously going to do a second show with Didi. We didn't mention that at the top of the show. He's actually having to leave Thailand. We're going to film with him later today. That'll either be out later today or definitely tomorrow. In that show, Lisa, I'd love to have a look at the situation with Tether again with you. I know you're very knowledgeable in that area. It's all over the news again. We won't cover it in this show. We'll keep this to the charting, but come back for our second show, people, because I think that is a major catalyst here for a potential price move.
It definitely is,
So we'll cover that in the next show, which will be out later today or definitely by tomorrow.
All right, well, let's just quickly run through these charts. So this is the total crypto market cap. We've broken, it's running in a similar sort of pattern to what BTC is right now. Except we've broken this resistance on this chart and we're now trading in an uptrend channel. So, you know, potentially this is a really good, if we can hold this support, you know, it doesn't matter if we don't break this resistance, if we just need to go up here and eventually we're going to get to our target. So, you know, and that's going to keep the money sort of flowing into these larger coins at, you know, once these alts have finished their patterns. So, you know, we can see BSV is trending, it's above the resistance, a very similar pattern to what the total market cap is. You know, BSV's sort of starting to change its pattern. Like it used to be a really difficult pattern to trade, and it's becoming more stable and the pattern's, you know, settling. So it's kind of growing into it. It had growing pains and now it's sort of really sort of growing into that pattern, which is good. And, you know, it's obeying the rules. It's holding MAs, it's holding patterns. It's doing really well. So
I'm doing a show later this week with a couple of BSV projects. I'm actually assessing different social media platforms, Twitch being one of them. So I'm going to have a look at some of the BSV projects later this week to try and understand the fundamentals of what's going on in that project.
I got sent a list of platforms and projects that have moved from Ethereum to BSV, and the list. Yeah, I'll send that to you. So, you can have a look at, but it's extensive. It's really extensive. So, a lot of these platforms are saying that they can't function on Ethereum. It doesn't have the scaling. It doesn't do what they need it to do. And, once BSV starts sort of making these projects more public, and sort of starts tooting its own horn, which it doesn't do. So, and people start realizing.
No, their media leaves a little bit to be desired, in my opinion.
Yeah, so at the moment it's the quiet achiever, and it's just sort of chugging along. So yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, well, enough about
back
BSV.
to the charts.
So,
back to the charts. That's what the show's all about.
Okay,
today.
Kava. This is another one of my trades of the week.
Yeah.
So 115%. So
is that all?
I know it's not like ERD Elrond chart. It's like it's nothing. 115%. God, terrible charting.
Yeah, you've been a big fan of
this one. Yeah, so this one's going to consolidate here, and it should continue higher. Okay, Atom, which we've been calling. So this one has done 176. If we go back, it's we started trading in March. So this has been a longer term trade.
Yep.
We've got Algo, 95% so far. It's terrible performance. So
it is feeling like 2017 at the moment.
Yeah, so this one, it took off when we did put the chart originally. We've done a measly like 27% on this, so it's it's not one of our bigger movers. We're in profit. I really think we're going to see this move to this. My target is this double top of this yellow line here, so yellow resistance. So we should see around the 65% mark here.
It's very much an Ethereum 2.0 project, that one. I think they've been, Ethereum 2.0 looks like it's getting delayed again.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of, we're seeing some of these tokens that are tightly associated with Ethereum 2.0 that, are really struggling right now. And OMG is one of those.
Yeah, that's a big one in that respect.
Yeah. So delaying, then some of these other projects are going to take off as well. So Eidoo it's starting to get a little bit choppy. This chart. We're stuck in a downtrend channel at the moment. But this last candle, we've seen how much volume has come into this market, and it's perfectly hit this support region, and the upper targets are looking really good at the moment. So yeah, I have no issues with that one. Our Tezos. Now Tezos, we've been trading this for quite some time. So it broke pattern and it hit the stop around here, and we went back into the trade here at our support. We've got a strong support region here. We've gone up here, and we keep getting these 25% moves with Tezos at the moment. So we've got another 25% move, which should continue up on this one. So we're stuck within, we're trending within this triangle.
Mm-hmm.
So which is kind of, we've got this strong resistance. potentially we could come down. We could do another 25% move here, but I really think we're going to break through.
Right.
On this. So yeah, so we've potentially got a 60% move coming with Tezos at the moment, especially with Link. And, you know, Tezos likes to closely follow with what Link's doing.
Yep.
So if we go to our Link chart.
I think it's good we're doing recording two shows today, Lisa, because I wanted to get you to look at the Stellar Lumens chart for me as well, which I didn't flag beforehand.
Yeah.
So maybe in the second show we can have a quick look at
All
that
right,
chart.
cool. We can do.
Cool.
So looking at Link, so Link has had some amazing news come out.
I'm kicking myself constantly for not getting into this when I was told to.
Yeah, so I've been telling people to, you know, we had this retest and we've come up and, you know, we've hit this resistance, this strong resistance, and we came down. You know, and this is when we came down, and Link was actually one of the only tokens to go to, or coins to go to zero on many exchanges when Bitcoin had that massive drop where a lot of the trading engines on many of the exchanges, including BitMEX, failed. So, you know, and Link, like BSV, has a lot of investors that are sort of, you know, new to investing, new to trading, and, you know, there was just not the liquidity, and it just kept going. So, you know, the bounce here was like exceptionally strong, and we started trading at this cross support here. So we've got this here, like this is our long-term support. This is our all-time high, similar to what we've got on Bitcoin. Yep. At the moment, so where we had this resistance, so we've come up, and this is potentially what Bitcoin could do as well with the 20,000. So we could come up and see a similar thing on Bitcoin where we hit the 21,000 mark and we hit that all-time high again, and we come crashing back down. Yep. So, you know, and then it's going to be this epic rise again with, you know, and that's one of the ideas that what we're seeing in some of the charts here could happen in Bitcoin.
Right.
So, but that's, you know, that's a long way off because we've got to hit 21,000 first. So, you know, so since this bottom of this chart, we've done 260%, and it seriously looks like Chainlink is going to hit $10 within probably the next, if we continue like this, we're only in a third wave, and, you know, we're going to get this epic rise, and, you know, if we continue, there's potential we could go into the teens here, you know, even $15.
Right.
So, yeah, I'd like to see some consolidation here, like we've got down here at the moment. And then, you know, head to the $10 mark. $10, you know, when we get to those psychological marks, which is, you know, $5, $10, you know, normally the round sort of figures, we do get that resistance in areas, and yeah, that's where the coins sort of lock up for a little bit, or they just, you know, power through. Nano was one of our trades of the week, and it's been a little bit slow. So we did hit our first target. We got a 30% rise on this one. We're trending sideways. Potentially, it doesn't look like we're going to come right back down. So we might hold above this green line here and then continue up. So, you know, it's still looking really solid. Litecoin was one of the trades. Now, Litecoin's stuck. It's really, it's very much trading sideways like Bitcoin is right now. So we've got this strong resistance, which is the pink. We go a little bit above it, we go a little bit below it, we go a little bit above it. And we're kind of doing that, which is what Bitcoin's doing when it's hugging that all-time high resistance. So, you know, eventually if Bitcoin breaks out, which I truly believe it will, Litecoin, BSV, Ethereum, all going to follow. So ERD, we've already spoken about. Chainlink, we've already talked about. So this is our Zilliqa chart. At the moment, we're forming this flag. So we're holding supports, and we're trapped in a sort of this resistance flag. Now, this is still looking really good for these upper targets. This movement here and holding the support has been really good. So from here, if you were to get into this trade on the support, you're still looking at a sort of a 45% rise in this region. You know, if you are getting into this trade, I would have a tight stop just in case we do continue into, you know, it turns into maybe a downtrend channel.
Yeah. I may well be having a bit of a chat on the fundamentals of this project. It's a Singaporean-based project. I actually know a couple of people involved with very different views of it, actually. So just follow the chart on that one rather than my fundamental analysis, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So Bitcoin Cash is another one. You know, and it's those big coins and tokens, so Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, the top 10's looking quite different at the moment, isn't it? The last couple of weeks.
Are. So, you know, these predominantly have had the majority of the support over the years, and they're just not getting it right now because a lot of these other ones that are in the top 100, mind you, are, you know, pushing forward, and they're hungrier. They're getting a lot more you know, use out of their projects. They're, you know, they're moving forward with their projects and they're hitting all the markers going forward. And that's what is happening. So these bigger projects like Bitcoin Cash, they've got a lot of infighting and not so much happening with the development. And, you know, they really need to pull that together for the long-term health of these coins. It's not impossible. And, you know, we're trending sideways within this channel, and it's got a good looking pattern, and it potentially still has the ability to make, you know, 50 to 100% here on the next run. So, you know, I'm not deserting these top 10. I still think I've still got money in them. I've still got, you know, trades happening. So yeah,
something like Bitcoin Cash for me. I mean, I know we're doing a charting show, but just very quickly on Bitcoin Cash, I think, you know, the fundamentals, what that project is all about, may well be quite suited to a very uncertain world. You know, BSV obviously split from it for reasons we both understand, but effectively a lot of that was around sort of the anonymity plays, etc. So yeah, Bitcoin Cash is not one I rule out because of its actual use case and an uncertain world.
No, I don't, and it's got a strong. Yeah, it's got a strong consolidation pattern here. So, you know, I'm not going to rule that out. I don't think it's a horrible looking chart. It's like, you know, a lot of these charts, like Bitcoin has a very similar strong consolidation pattern, and I don't rule out either of them. So, yeah, I'm actually really excited to see what happens with Bitcoin Cash, and that's why I've been trading it at the moment. So.
Yeah, all three of the Bitcoins have got their use cases, and absolutely always part of my thinking and portfolio.
Yeah. So this is Eidoo. So this is one of my longer term trades that I've had going. And
that's had some big moves, huh?
So this is another one that's done some massively big percentages. So, and I've had this going in the background for quite some time. This one I started, I think I called the bottom on this in December last year. Said around the price, this is where I'm going to buy it. And I put in the orders, and it sat there, and, you know, I got the orders and they filled, and, you know, I've done 700% on this one. So if you follow my Twitter, I do have a laddering technique that I use a lot of the time with a lot of these coins and tokens, where I ladder in and I ladder out, and, you know, I sell certain percentages at certain levels when we hit certain targets, and those percentages are either then taken to another coin or token, or they're rolled back in, so they're compounded into this token when, you know, it sort of corrects in certain areas. So like at this region, I would have sold here, so like a certain percentage, I can't remember what it was, and I would have put orders lower down. So compounding that, and, you know, then being able to buy more of the token. So yeah, so So in actual fact, like when I say it's done 700%, when you're compounding that, I might be at 1,000% on that token at the moment. So yeah, so Vet was another one. I think it was one of my trades of the week as well that I had on the show here. So we've just done 425% on that one since we started trading it on the show. So it would have been one of my sort of May, June trades that I think we started. So yeah, so
yeah, you've been going okay, Lisa.
No, it's just okay. I think, yeah.
Obviously, people watching this, this is just a once a week show we do, but you need to get over onto Twitter and follow Lisa on the daily as well.
Yeah, so I like to update my alts on a Tuesday, and I'll post new charts obviously on a Monday because we're doing a trade of the week. So this was my trade of the week last week, and we made 25% in this one. If we had sold, I'm still in this trade. I haven't sold. We've got it's looking really nice at the moment. So we've had a resistance test. We broke down a little bit, but we're back up above. So to me, that means long-term health of the coin or token is looking really great when we can test and break resistances and then come back down and test them as support. That's a really good sign. So, you know, for people that know me, I do use the support and the resistance, but when I'm getting targets and, you know, finding out where the chart is in pattern, I do use Elliott wave and Fibonacci. So for anyone that just thinks that it's just easy, I'm just putting a few support and resistance sort of lines on here. There's a little bit more that goes into it. A lot of that other stuff's taken off, so my chart doesn't look super crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah. So okay. So that's all the charts that we've had. You know, everything this week is in immense amounts of profit. So
now I get to put really clickbaity headlines on these shows, which I hate doing, and I don't watch other people's shows because of their clickbaity headlines. But I guess I'm allowed to. 1,400% gain.
Yeah,
you're a loser if you don't click this.
Well, you're not gonna get. Yeah,
I won't go that far. I'm very conservative.
So, okay, that brings me...
What do we got? Coin of the week.
Okay, normally I have one coin. This week I've got two.
Ooh.
So I've got two that have caught my eye. So I've got Maker, which is potential here. We've got a long-term support that we're hugging along. And, you know, this support is treating us really nicely at the moment. We've had a nice consolidation in this correction, and it's coming down, you know, it's moving very, very sideways, which is something that I like to see, that it's, you know, potentially we can see here that it's consolidated for quite some time, holding this support.
Yeah.
And then we've got these big moves. So we've got this consolidation. It's not as big as this consolidation here, but we're holding this support. And we've got a potential 50% profits coming. This is one that has some stuff happening. And, you know, if we do go into the fundamentals of Maker, there's a few things that are in the pipeline right now that could bring this chart, you know, not to just 50% profits. We could see, you know, 100 to 200% profits.
We can maybe have a quick chat on some of the fundamentals in the show we'll do with Eidoo later on.
Yeah. So there's a couple of really good projects out there at the moment, and, you know, that I have been keeping an eye on. And, you know, I love my Twitter followers, and they bring me the best projects. They really do. It's like, hey, Lisa, you know, check this one out. So, you know, I kind of go away and I see what they're doing and what the charts are sort of saying to me. So, you know, because sometimes a project might have something going on and, you know, the fundamentals are happening, but the chart's horrible. So, you know, it's just not going to be tradable. There's no liquidity in the chart. So it's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, Maker's looking really good. So, and our next one is Theta. So, yeah.
Okay. This was discussed on my show about what do these guys do? Any idea? Is this Theta TV or something or other?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the same project. So right. I'm pretty sure it's a media stuff, and you know, there's a few different things that kind of happen with it. Now this one's had this long sideways movement here, and you know, it kind of didn't go anywhere from, you know, it dropped into the market. Yep. And, you know, it went sideways forever. Now we're starting to see a little bit of chatter out on Twitter about it. We're starting to see some results happening with the projects that they're doing.
Yep.
So, you know, that we're getting these movements. So we now have this support line that we're, you know, trending across. And, you know, I've seen quite a bit of news coming in the last sort of week to 2 weeks on Tether. So I'm going to say that this chart is about to make 200%. So I think there's going to be some big news. Like, I don't have any insider information, but the charts always represent, you know, we get news or we get some sort of major event.
Yeah.
And you know, it either goes up or it crashes. So
yeah, the show, as I say, the show I posted yesterday, I'm basically assessing the different blockchain social media platforms at the moment. Posting this content will be posted there actually, you know, just to see how it performs, what the interface is like, and we looked at Hive yesterday, but Theta was actually brought up by one of the guys who was the big Hive fan. So
yeah. So
interesting that you've thrown it out on a trading show today.
Yeah, so I really like the way that this chart has moved. So, you know, and with some of the charts, this is a 3-day chart. So, you know, this 200% is a longer term move.
Yep.
It could take 3 months. It could take 6 months. But, you know, when you think about the whole
I'm willing to hang around for 3 months to make 200% on something.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. In a traditional market, you could wait 3 years. Yep. So in crypto, you know, you fast forward that and you've got 3 months to 6 months. So, you know, potential 200% gains. There's no guarantee, obviously. I'm not guaranteeing that you, like, just because every other coin that I've had has made gains. Yep. You always need to have money management. You need to trade with a stop loss and, you know, assess these trades and manage them as we go.
Yep.
So, you know, nothing is ever guaranteed.
Of course not. And obviously we're not giving financial advice. You know, you've got to do your own homework. This is us discussing projects and giving
so this is stuff these are all projects that I trade personally. So, you know, I don't put out charts that I don't trade. Yep. So, you know, if you're losing money, I'm losing money. If you're making money, I'm making money. So, but everyone, you should have been listening to me in April.
I agree, Lisa. I'm getting a lot of people contacting me, enjoying the show. You are doing very, very well.
So it's like no Dr. Pressure. Evil. It's like $1 billion.
Awesome. Hey, so we're going to do another quick show a bit later today with Didi. He was tied up this morning. He's had unexpected guests on his last day in Thailand. So look, I'll see you back here fairly shortly. Everyone watching, make sure you come back for that show. And I think maybe in that one we'll have a look at what's going on with Tether, stablecoins in general, or something. And maybe if you could have a look at the Stellar chart for me as well in that show.
I will.
Stellar has a special place in my heart for a number of reasons. It's fallen out of the top 10. Down to about 14th now, I think, but there definitely looks like there's some action there. So be good to get your thoughts on that chart. And maybe
is that from Rocky?
Sorry,
some Rocky on there. It's like Stella. Isn't it Sylvester Stallone or Rocky? Here I am entertaining myself. It's like Sean.
Stella. That was
Adrian. What does he yell?
Adrian. Adrian.
Oh, who yells there? Adrian, no, there's somebody yells Stella. No, streetcar named Desire.
Really?
And it's like, he's like, Stella. Yeah, I'm pretty
Not
sure
why
there's
I like,
one of them.
it's not why I
It's a
like that
movie.
project, Lisa, but I'll check the film out.
It's like,
Awesome. So yeah, I mean, look, it's.
all right, I've finished. I'm just entertaining myself here.
Oh no! The internet stopped there. I didn't hear anything you said. It's done it again.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, sure.
No, it is. You're getting all on me here. Lucky we now you're completely frozen. You can hear me, okay?
I can hear you fine.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah,
you've frozen with a really funny look on your face.
To the audience.
You've frozen with a really goofy look on your face, by the way.
That's just my normal face, Sean.
I don't know if it's my internet or yours. It's.
I don't know. I'm on NBN now, so it could be mine.
Yeah.
You know what, like Telstra's like, but anyway.
Yeah, so look, I'm looking forward to having more of a general chat with you later today. We'll have a bit of a catch up on maybe some of the fundamentals of the market and generally what we're all up to in life. I know you've had some more exciting news, so we'll have a chat about.
Got some exciting news, so stay tuned.
Yeah, cool. Well, we hope you're enjoying these weekly shows, everybody. I don't know how you can't be with the action that's going on and the gains that are there to be made.
Smash the like button.
Yeah, for God's sake, subscribe to the channel.
Smash it.
Push subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be doing some giveaways in the coming weeks. I've decided to go down that route. And I'm actually off to see the people from Embley Card tomorrow, so we'll report back on what's been happening there for you. And yeah, Lisa, I'll see you in a few hours.
See you in a few hours.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye. See you, everyone. See you soon.